It is a great honor and pleasure to be here this morning at this roundtable discussion and to be given the opportunity to discuss regional cooperation and integration. And also, I was very fortunate to attend the inaugural event of this Economic Integration Monitor, July last year in Singapore. And at that time, I strongly suggested that this work should be continued because we need to have a total picture of the regional economic integration by someone very, very credible and objective and insightful institutions such as the RAI. Because of my capacity as the AMRO, ASEAN Plus 3 Macroeconomic Office, my talk today will be mainly on ASEAN Plus 3 economies. Today I will talk about two issues. One is the recent economic condition of ASEAN Plus 3, and second is the lessons we learned from the recent European experiences. Let me first briefly overview recent economic conditions of ASEAN Plus 3. Many points I share the points made by Dr. Lee, so I'll be very brief. Real economic activities in the region have moderately rebounded. Regional economies benefited from the reduction of global trade risks, as well as from strengthening of China's growth towards the end of last year. Growth profiles differ across the region. GDP growth in Japan and Korea in the fourth quarter expanded more moderately due to lack of domestic demand drivers. In contrast, the growth of the major ASEAN economies outperformed expectation, mainly on due to the strong consumption demand. External sector condition also differs across the region. In some ASEAN economies, not only have the current account surplus narrowed, but the current account balance demonstrated some swings. On the other hand, the current account surplus in China and Korea widened due to slower growth in imports. Supported by positive fundamentals and continued accommodative monetary policy in advanced economies, ASEAN economies are still the primary beneficiary of net capital inflows, direct investment and portfolio capital. Inflationary pressures in the region are largely in check. Indicators of banking sector are largely stable with generally strong core capital position. Relatively sound public finance across the region have further promoted economic and financial stability in the region. Moreover, with the exception of several economies, public debt to GDP ratio is fairly low. Notwithstanding this resilient economic condition in the region, some major risks remain and need to be monitored closely. First, growth is expected to be capacity constrained in several regional economies, out of which is either approaching or currently above trend growth. Robust domestic demand has given rise to tighter labor market conditions, which could in turn exert upward pressure on prices. Second, continuing global liquidity infusion risks fueling rapid asset price inflation in regional economies. Despite policies to curb excessive domestic credit growth, the rate of credit growth in some regional economies is fairly buoyant. Volume of housing loans has increased, particularly in economies that are experiencing rapid increases in property prices. Despite the current low non-performing loan ratios, NPL ratios, in this segment, close monitoring is essential as the NPL is a lagging indicator. If left unchecked, default risk could rise, leading to a larger than expected correction in property impairing overall financial stability. Let me move to my second topic, the lessons we learned from the recent European events. But before going into the details, I echo the points made by the Vice President Rouhani that the importance of having a regional surveillance unit in Chiang Mai context was recognized even from the start of the Chiang Mai initiative in 2000. But we have to wait until 2009 it is after the Lehman shock that the finance ministers of ASEAN plus 3 countries agree the need to establish an independent surveillance office. So it is true that but I agree with the Vice President Lohan's point that the crisis promotes the regional cooperation. So we are established in 2011, as Dean Kawai explained a moment ago, and the purpose of which is to early detection of risks in ASEAN plus 3 and to take early remedial measures and thus to prevent moral hazard. But European experiences gave us some lessons. That is my personal thought, but let me give maybe 4 of them. First, I'd like to emphasize that, just I said, independent surveillance work can help deter a potential financial crisis from developing. Independent surveillance assessments and reporting procedures are therefore critical means in the early detection of risks, allowing preventive measures to be taken accordingly. Second, recent crises also underline the need for deeper monitoring of the interlinkages in the global economy, and in particular, the potential for financial sector movements to rapidly ignite and propagate risks leading to potential crisis. Third, in some cases, regional efforts may not be enough for effective crisis prevention and resolution, and thus there's a need for close cooperation between regional and global financial safety nets. The Eurozone sovereign debt crisis has now resulted in the establishment of the ESM, Eurozone Regional Financial Safety Net, in close cooperation with the IMF, the Global Financial Safety Net. Why did Eurozone governments still have to resort to the Global Financial Safety Net after receiving help from the Regional Financial Safety Net? In my view, Eurozone authorities resorted to borrowing from the IMF to receive not only financial support, but also gain credibility. Why? To understand this, we need to distinguish between a crisis from outside and a crisis from within. If a crisis stems from the external shock, such as Lehman or Eurozone crisis to Asia, a country or region may only require liquidity support. However, if a crisis stems from the internal weakness and problems, the country or region will not only require the liquidity support, but we also need to restore credibility to its economy, and this can only be provided via an external help. The Eurozone sovereign debt crisis was a crisis brought on by structural weakness within the Eurozone, such as a lack of competitiveness, weak external position, and non-sustainable public finance. Accordingly, Eurozone economies in crisis needed to obtain credibility on its bailout program, and therefore sought help from the Global Financial Safety Net, in addition to receiving regional financial support. Last but not least, and also this is very critical to this region, I would like to emphasize the importance of accurate, timely, and transparent data. So I took the comments by the Vice President Rouhani very deeply, that the ASEAN plus 3 economies, especially our office, should not lose momentum even after recovery is in sight. And also, we have gone through the crisis of the Lehman as well as the European debt crisis, but we have to move forward. In concluding, let me repeat my remarks at the outset. Regional integration is a very important policy agenda. Many things are happening in various parts of the region, in various sectors. So I have to admit, I myself found many new developments which I'm not familiar with by reading the July report and this report. So the monitoring analysis of ADB's array on this field will be very valuable contribution, lecture contribution to understanding this very important policy development. Thank you very much.